Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be big box store plant shopping at the Walmart in Prosper, Texas. As always, please make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel with the notification bell on, as well as following me on Instagram for more daily plant shopping content. But as you can see right here, I just wanted to go to the entrance and show you all of the large foliage plants that this particular Walmart has. They've got a bunch of Monstera Deliciosas here, and I ended up actually buying a Monstera Deliciosa at a Walmart recently. But let's go back outside and take a look at some of the plants that they have in their outdoor section. It is late spring, and I love to feature outdoor plants just because I love gardening as well. So for those that are new to this channel, typically I will show you guys tropical plants, indoor house plants, but I also want to feature different types of plants such as outdoor gardening. Here you can see that we've got a bunch of Acer palmatum or Japanese maples. This one is a blood good for $19.47 by actually by Garden Expert, and that is an awesome deal for a 1 gallon Japanese maple that is already staked up. I actually bought one of these for myself and then also for my mother-in-law. We planted those actually recently in her backyard. I might actually buy another one for $19.97. That is not a bad price at all. And blood goods actually do very well in North Dallas, which is where I'm based at. So the only thing about Japanese maples is they really need to be protected from the late afternoon sun. They can't really tolerate really hot weather, so that makes it a little bit more of a challenging plant to grow out in Texas when we have like 100+ degree weather. I anticipate that I said Walmart. I anticipate that the weather is going to be really hot the next couple of days. We're going to be hitting the 90s, so it is about to hit summer, and I want to just enjoy some of this moderate weather that we have. But as you can see right over here, we've got tons of different types of shrub plants. I want to show you these gardenias right here. Now with gardenias, they're very fragrant flowers. They do need to be in more shade, and this is the season of Boston ferns. It looks like every big box or every local plant nursery, they have Boston ferns everywhere. And I want to go ahead and pan out over here and show you all of the beautiful plants. I will say this Walmart isn't really that stocked in terms of just the amount of plants that they have. It's not a large Walmart like the one that I showed you guys recently, my plant foldies. And if you are new to this channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. I featured the Rockwall, Texas Walmart, and when I say that Walmart was fabulous, it is probably the best Walmart in Texas that I've seen so far. But this Prosper Walmart is not a bad Walmart at all. They've got most of the outdoor plants that you want to look for. Like right over here, they have these container made easy plants right here by Better Homes and Gardens. I actually got one on clearance for $5, so I really saved a lot of money. And with that particular container, I love lantanas. The lantanas I just recently planted about 3 weeks ago are starting to really put on a lot of growth. They are starting to spread and mount, and I really want to make sure that they become some beautiful ground cover for my backyard, just right underneath some of my Japanese maples. A lot of my backyard actually ends up getting a lot of full sun, so lantanas are great plants to plant down. They can tolerate very hot conditions, drought tolerant, and look at these beautiful blooms here. They are also a perennial for my growing zone, which is 8B. So that is another plus. So whenever you grow perennials in your landscape, depending on your grow zone, you will actually have that plant come back year after year. Now, Coleus plants are listed as annual plants, so if you're going to grow them in the outdoor landscape, they typically will die back and you'll have to replant them. But Coleus plants, and that is another plant that I have been really obsessed about. I am addicted to Coleus plants. Look right over here. These are for $17.88, and you've got a mixed planter of several different types of Coleus plants. What I love about Coleus plants is not only do they have beautiful foliage, they're a very versatile type of plant to grow. You can grow them outdoors or indoors. You can overwinter them. You can grow them from propagation. Like you can literally take small cuttings off of this particular wizard rose Coleus that went over there with the pink, and you can just root it in straight water or directly into soil. Honestly, I I have discovered that just by putting Coleus plants directly into soil, the cuttings are a lot easier to root, and you don't have to worry about having to transition those water roots. But you can see here, these are not a bad price at all for all of the Coleus you get here. Now, I would suggest if you see that this Coleus plant is actually blooming, you want to cut back the blooms just because it'll stun the growth of the Coleus plant. If you're growing plants for foliage, which are the leaves, you want to go ahead and get rid of the blooms because the blooms are going to actually take up a lot more energy from the plant. But you can see over here, like you can literally take a cutting like that, stick it in water or soil, and you'll be able to propagate that and have a new plant. I am all about plant propagation because I think that's one way to go save money on plants. You know, it's all about budgeting your types of plants that you get. I will say big box stores typically have cost-effective pricing, although I will also say that local plant nursery is another place that you can go for some of these plants, like even the Coleus plants that I'm seeing right here. Callaway's Nursery, which is a local plant nursery chain out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they have a bunch of Coleus plants, starter plants for $2.49, which is not a bad price at all. So love that. I love Coleus plants. If you are a plant folding, has been following my channel for at least the past month, you will already know that I have featured Coleus plants in every single video of mine, unless the plant shop doesn't actually carry them. I always look for Coleus plants whenever I am going big box store plant shopping. And so if you haven't already, please make sure you are subscribing to my YouTube channel at Growfolds. With the notification bell on. I know some of you viewers have mentioned that you've been watching my channel daily, and I appreciate it so much, but haven't actually subscribed. Please subscribe to the channel, because if you have the notification bell on, you will actually be notified whenever I upload a video or upload a poll or even do a live premiere chat. I will say all of my live premiere chats are typically scheduled for 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sometimes I might take a break from a day, but I typically bounce back and actually have videos for you. Plant shopping videos do take a little bit of time. I really want to do it right by making sure I give you guys 1 hour plant shopping videos, so that way we can all hang out at the live premiere chat. So if you're watching this video live, please make sure you are saying hello. Don't be shy, because we are a friendly bunch, and the plant folding community is continuing to grow, and I love it. I'm hoping to be able to reach 10,000 subscribers by the mid-May or even at the end of the month. So if you can, please share my videos with other plant lovers. But you can see here, I actually featured this beautiful flowering plant right here for $9.97. I don't really know a lot about the plant care tips, but the thing about big box stores, especially with Better Homes and Garden plants that you'll find at Home Depot, I say Home Depot, you at Walmart, actually. See, that's when you know you've been big box or plant shopping, because you mix up the big box stores. But they will give you like plant care tips. Like, I love potato vines right here. This is the dark foliage purple one by Better Homes and Gardens, and I love that. The only thing about potato vines is if you try to grow them indoors, they are more spider mite prone. They do require full sun. Here is a Coleus flamethrower for $5.88. I actually have this flamethrower Coleus plant. Love this because the flamethrower series actually can tolerate full sun. So this is what you would consider a sun Coleus. So Coleus plants in general prefer bright indirect light. They need protection from the afternoon sun, but we've hybridized these Coleus plants now where these Coleus can actually take full sun. And for weather like mine, full Texas sun, it's very intense, but these Coleus plants can do so good in it. And then over here, you've got to love these Kalanchoe flowers. These are for $4.97. Now with Kalanchoe, I realized that they are actually a succulent plant, but this particular one is a profuse bloomer. Love the pink foliage. I mean, not the pink foliage, but the pink blooms. It is a plant that really requires a lot of bright light. So if you grow that actually in full sun, they will do very well. If you grow them indoors, you really have to provide a lot of light. I would say south-facing window or a grow light would be best for it. And then over here, we've got some more Coleus plants. You already know these Coleus. I love them so much. These are for $8.78. This is the Main Street Coleus plant. I actually have this one as well. So I pretty much have bought every single type of Coleus plant that Walmart provides. I love the fact that Walmart does have some really cost-effective prices for their plants. They're super cheap, and you can propagate Coleus plants. I think that is a big draw for me. I am all about propagation, just seeing the roots develop to be able to like actually get more free plants. And what I like about Coleus plants is you can grow them as like a full-on tree indoors. So I've seen a lot of European Instagram accounts where they have Coleus plants that have reached up to like 3 to 4 feet in height. Now the bottom stems eventually start to get woody when you train it. So that's something that I will eventually do. Right now I am just trying to propagate as many Coleus as possible. They have become really bushy as well. Here we've got New Guinea Impatiens. So what I like about New Guinea Impatiens is look at how it's got a very stem, like a caney variety of stem. This looks like it'd be another easy plant to propagate from cuttings. Love the purple or dark foliage underneath the plant, and then obviously the green plant. So I love the 2-layer plants as well. And obviously the blooms are beautiful. With New Guinea Impatiens though, you do need to make sure that you are providing them shade. They prefer to be in more shaded conditions unless they are sun patience, which is another topic I'll show if I actually find some here. And then over here, beautiful foxglove flower. So this is another plant that I recently discovered by shopping at Walmart. You can see right over here, beautiful flowers. They have these like trumpet cascading flowers right here, beautiful looking purple colors as well. Now with these foxglove plants, they almost look like vegetables right here, at least the foliage. These do require full sun. A lot of the flowering plants actually require full sun just because it does require a lot of energy from the plant. So just definitely make sure you know what the care conditions are for certain plants. And then over here we've got a bunch of yellow lantana. So these ones are better home and garden. These are for $15.88, and then these would really be well suited for areas that have really hot temperatures, full sun. These mound up and they are perennial, so I really like that a lot. When you start to see beautiful clusters of lantana, that's just absolutely stunning. I'm getting really excited about my backyard actually having those. I'm starting to see a lot more growth in them. And then obviously this is a classic plant that I've grown as a kid, even from seed. These are zinnia plants, and I really like the fact that these zinnias are a little bit more dwarf in their form. They make great cut flowers, however, and you know, with zinnias, they just need full sun. So they really do need full sun, just alongside with marigolds, but they are easy to harvest the actual seeds from. And it's interesting because if you let different types of colors of zinnia plants grow, they are actually going to be pollinated, and sometimes you can hybridize them and cross-pollinate, so where you'll get different colors. That's an interesting thing. I actually collected a bunch of zinnia seeds a little while back, about a year ago. I haven't planted them, but I might actually throw them down into the ground. They're really easy to propagate, or at least grow from seed. And the only thing about zinnias is you don't really want to water the bottoms or the tops of the leaves because they are susceptible to fungus diseases. They really need to be in hotter conditions as well. Here are some celosia plants. $8.78. Beautiful plant as well. I love the stems, the magenta stems, and also the magenta flowers right here. They don't even really look like real flowers. I do like the texture of it. That is another plant that, you know, a lot of people will grow as annual plants. And then you can see over here we've got another plant. This is an Angelonia plant. I've never seen this plant as well. This is a new addition to the Walmart outdoor plants. These are by Better Homes and Gardens. But in a late afternoon right off of work, I did want to go ahead and just do another big box shopping video. I know a lot of y'all will like to watch big box or plant shopping videos, but I do like to also feature Dallas-Fort Worth local plant shops. I recently uploaded and premiered the Petunias Planters plant shop. If you definitely love like rare, uncommon, and just a really cool small business, definitely check that plant shop out. I would love for you to check it out if you haven't gotten a chance to see that live premiere from last night. It was a really nice plant shop that I visited, and I fully support it. Follow them on Instagram as well at Petunias Planters, as well as me. If you haven't already followed me on Instagram at Growfolds, that is the fastest way to connect with me. You can send me a direct message, and it's so cool that a lot of you plant foldies have sent me pictures of your plants, pictures of Coleus plants, pictures of your plant collection. keep those going because I love to interact with you guys. Again, a lot of these plant shopping videos are really more about interactive, interactions with each other. And I love the fact that these live premiere chats have really seen a lot of new faces. So you guys are all welcome to say hello and ask as many questions as possible. We've got a lot of plant folding regulars. And in this plant right here that I picked up is a pentas plant, beautiful plant as well. I love flowering plants also that have clustering going on, like these right here are some more lantanas. I will feature lantanas often in my outdoor gardening plant shopping videos just because look at how beautiful these flowers are. I never really paid attention to them until recently, and they are such an easy to care for plant. They are drought tolerant, which makes them very easy to grow in landscapes, especially out in the summers of Texas, where 100+ degree weather is literally common. I am dreading it, but I am happy that I've been able to get plants that are a little bit more suitable to my climate. And that's another thing, plant foldies. Whenever you are doing outdoor gardening, you really want to do research on your grow zone, as well as what plants are compatible for your climate. The last thing you need is to be planting a bunch of, say, impatiens in full sun, and then, they end up crisping and dying. Here is another Better Homes and Garden Coleus. This is another Main Street Coleus plant. Notice how this one is different. Love the lime neon green edging of it, and also the texture of the Coleus plant. Really like that a lot. I would say the only drawback for Coleus plants is that they require a lot of light. So surprisingly, knowing myself, I don't really water my indoor plants in my house as often, but whenever I'm growing plants outdoors, it's easy for me to take a hose and water them quickly. Coleus plants definitely need that. So I am a little bit concerned about when I do take some of my Coleus plants indoors to grow as houseplants, how I will maintain it. The thing about Coleus plants, they will definitely let you know when they are thirsty. It is a plant that starts to droop. And so that is one of those plants that as soon as you water it, they'll give it about an hour or two, it will perk up. And then here we have everybody's favorite. This is a Hydra Helix, or the correct way to say it is Hedera helix, or English ivy. Now, English ivy are best grown to be outdoors. They are a very challenging plant to grow indoors. I have yet to really meet somebody that has successfully grown English ivy indoors because they are such spider mite magnets. And then over here, we've got another interesting looking fern. This one has more of a silver foliage. Let's see what this fern is. This is a Japanese painted fern. So that is another cute looking fern here. I don't really have a lot of ferns in my collection. I actually don't have a single fern in my collection just yet. I'm considering getting a fern that is like a bird's nest type fern. So we'll see about that. But the only thing about ferns the reason why I'm not really into them is because of the watering conditions. They really need to stay moist. And again, knowing my daily life and my routines, my demanding job, and even YouTube now, I just don't know if I have enough time to really invest in a plant that requires a lot of watering. And then here is a perennial plant that we see often. These are Callia lilies. So you can actually grow Callia lilies in full sun. They are a perennial in grow zone 8B. So this is a plant that I can plant down and actually have come back year after year. I often see Callia lilies though at a grocery store in the floral section being given as like a floral gift. I always say if you're going to give somebody flowers, go ahead and give them a full plant that is rooted so that way they can last and actually give more blooms. Now, these are these purslane flowers, which are often mistaken as portulacas. This is another easy to care for plant. They are drought tolerant. They need a lot of light, however, and they are good ground cover. Now, these would be annuals, though, if you're going to grow them in Texas because of the freezes we get. And then right here are some variegated ajuga plants. I don't know why I am drawn to this particular plant, and you can see right here, it's starting to trail. I actually have bought 2 variegated ajuga plants from Walmart, and I have grown them in containers, and they are doing fabulous. They have some really good diversity in terms of just being able to tolerate lower light conditions like shade or full sun. Now, if you give them a lot more light, their variegation and cream pinks will show more pronounced. So like right over here, these were what I bought. These are for $4.37. Look at how vigorous the roots are growing. This is super root bound, and you can see that it is already starting to trail. And notice how they have aerial roots here. This would be another plant that would be super easy to propagate, and I think that's the reason why I am a little bit more drawn to certain plants plants, especially if the propagation success is high. I like propagating plants. I think that is the fun part about plant parenthood, is just being able to create more plants. Like you can literally cut this part off, stick it in water or soil, and you have a new ajuga plant. Like this one is really trailing. So I always look at these plants. Like obviously I've seen some of these trending tropical exotic angel plants by Costa Farms in hanging baskets. I haven't ever really seen ajuga plants, but I would really think that they would be a really cool hanging basket plant just because they can trail. Look at that purple and pink variegation. It is a beautiful plant, and it is another plant that can tolerate lower light conditions, which makes it a candidate for indoor plants because let's face it, most indoor spaces don't have the best lighting. And this is a plant that can tolerate lower light conditions. I will say if you give it bright light or full sun, it's going to give you the best coloration. So I'm just going to walk past here, and you can see we've got an array of hanging baskets of geraniums, lots of outdoor tropical plants as well. But you know, geraniums, I like them. They can take full sun, but I do not like the smell of their leaves. It's not a very pleasant smell. And then over here we've got the Island Bloom series by Costa Farms. Now these are the more cost-effective starter plants. These ones you can grow as an outdoor landscape tropical plant. These are for $5.84. This is a white bird of paradise, and bird of paradise when grown indoors really needs a lot of bright indirect light. You can actually grow them in full sun and they will do very well. They might potentially bloom. I will say white bird of paradise will not bloom indoors. There's just not enough lighting, but you can see how beautiful that new leaf is that have unfurled. So plant foldies, let me know what Walmart plants I've shown you in my past videos or current videos that you really like to see. You can see right here, that is another Alocasia, California. Very easy to grow Alocasia outdoors. I will say Alocasias outdoors are just easy to take care of. And then we've got a bunch of Dracaena marginatas right over here. We've got a Hawaiian Cordyline tea plant. These are for $5.84. I bought one of these a little while back. It is actually an 8-inch planter. I know that it's probably a way larger size planter to put it in, but it is sizing up fairly quickly, and I love that it's got that pink variegation. With Cordyline plants, if you give them really good lighting, they will give you the best coloration, and I have been trying to collect some. So I have two different varieties of Cordyline plants. I have this one right here, and I also have the pinstripes one, which I found at Home Depot. It was a little bit pricey though, for $20. Now these right here for $5.84. I'm noticing that this one is a little bit more compact in its growth, so I don't know if it's just a different type of Cordyline tea plant, but I do want to get me a more compact version. I know Callaway's Nursery, which is a local plant nursery, carries them, but I might actually end up buying one of these more compact versions of the Cordyline tea plant. Now, grown indoors, they are a lot more susceptible to spider mites, so they are just really best to grow outdoor and out in your patio or in your landscape. And then over here, we've got some more Cordyline tea plants in combination planters. They are in combination planters with Mandevilla flowers. And I'll tell you, Mandevilla flowers are everywhere. It is a tropical blooming flower that takes full sun. And I do like the mixed containers, so those are really cool as well. So if you want instant gratification, you can always just buy yourself a mixed container. Some people are not as versed about mixing plants in a container, but this one is already instant gratification. Look at that beautiful pink and red variegation on that Cordyline tea plant. We've got a Croton petra right over here. Those are finicky plants as well. I still love them because I love the coloration on them. And that's the thing about the plants I like, plant foldies. They just have to have a certain characteristic. And I've mentioned this before. For me, I like plants that are easy care. And what that means is they are drought tolerant, they are lower light condition tolerant, and easy to propagate. So if you have those three categories, then I am able to actually add them into my home. And then over here, I'm going to pan over all of these Encore azaleas. I love azaleas. They are a little bit challenging for me to grow in my landscape just because I don't have the best shade to provide them. But they remind me of Japanese gardens, and I am obsessed with Japanese gardens. I love Japanese culture. I love origami. And for those that have followed my channel and are new to it, it was actually originally an origami ASMR channel. It was really for me to just fold paper cranes. My goal is to fold a million paper cranes in my lifetime. time, I still fold paper cranes on a daily basis. So I've got a lot going on in my day. I mean, pretty much every minute of my day is packed with something, and I like that. I like to have a routine where I feel like I'm doing something productive. And over here, this is a beautiful bush. These are the Chinese fringe flower bush. Love the purple. They do very well in Texas weather as well. And you can see that those are Texas plants. And then over here are some tree form oleander plants. So oleander have beautiful blooms. They take full sun. And the only thing about oleander is you have to be careful. Super toxic. They are actually a poisonous plant. You definitely don't want to ingest the leaves. You don't want your pets to be around that. You don't want small children like nibbling on the leaves because they are highly toxic. And that's the thing about this. Most people would not know that oleander are actually poisonous plants. So that is another thing. Whenever you are plant shopping, you want to try to do some research before you buy the plant and know not only the toxicity of the plant, the growing habits of it, and then just the care tips. And then over here we've got a bunch of like peach trees. I actually like peach trees. I have 2 peach trees that I'm not growing really for peaches. I'm growing them most so for that little 2 to 3 week season where they actually push out beautiful cherry blossom like flowers. And then over here, we've got some Fatsia japonica or Japanese Aralia. This is another perennial plant in grow zone 8B, which is where I'm at. This is labeled as a spider's web Fatsia japonica, but it does not look like it. It looks like just a regular green version, which is fine. I don't mind green plants, but I really do think that this is a mislabeled Fatsia japonica or Japanese Aralia. This is for $9.97. Really good price for it. Now I saw actually, it's $10.97. Either way, it's still a really good price for that plant. And then over here, we've got some more Nandinas. So I like Nandina. So these bush are really easy to grow. And I like the fact that they have beautiful colors. They come in different varieties as well. I like the neon varieties. I have been able to grow Nandinas out in my front patio landscape, and it is facing south facing, so it's getting a lot of full sun. And then over here we've got some more shrubs. It looks like we've got some more azaleas. Here's some regular red azaleas. Now with azaleas, I typically recommend azaleas, encore azaleas, because they can actually rebloom 3 times a year versus just a typical azaleas. Now if you are going to have azaleas, you want to make sure that you have acidic soil. So how you can get your soil to be more acidic is literally by taking coffee grounds and just sprinkling them on the top of the soil. That will actually really increase the acidity. Other plants that like acidity would be like Japanese maples. And then over here we've got a bunch of tomato cages. So I actually have some grow plants or grower boxes, lifted grower boxes that I will be growing some vegetables. I've got a bunch of peppers already growing and producing a lot of peppers. I love homegrown vegetables because you can control what things are being placed into the soil, so it's got more of an organic feel about it. And what I like to do with my vegetables is actually make tempura with them. So again, it's that whole Japanese cuisine and culture. I love tempura. I don't know if you guys like tempura, especially when it is super crispy. It is amazing. But you can see they even have hanging baskets of vegetable plants, which I find interesting because most of the vegetable plants are not really trailing. And then over here is a fern that I actually have appreciated and might actually consider growing. This is a holly fern right over here. This one is for $8.77 by Garden Expert. Now, Garden Expert is really the name brand of Walmart for their outdoor and indoor plants. The most cost-effective pricing, I would say, in a lot of big box stores. But you can see right there, holly fern. Holly fern also do not need to be in full sun. They need to be more in a shaded condition, and their soil needs to remain a little bit more moist. So your watering needs to be a little bit more consistent. And I'm just going to pass over here and just show you guys again all of these beautiful lantanas. And don't worry, I will definitely get you guys the indoor tropical plants at this Walmart, but I always like to spend a little bit of time showing you guys the outdoor sections. And I think at this point, you can go to a Walmart or any big box store and see the flower of the hour, and that is the petunia. Love petunias. They come in so many different varieties. I am amazed about the diversity of petunias that we actually have available at many big box stores and local plant nurseries. I've seen so many different colors, and it's really exciting. I love that fiery red tone that we have over here. Absolutely gorgeous petunias, and this isn't a mixed planter. And that's the thing I like about that is those mixed planters. We've got also some zinnias here. Now with the petunias as well as zinnia plants, we want to make sure that we are providing full sun for these plants if you're going to grow them. And just know that they are annual plants. So what that means is they will not really last past the growing season. They will die back in the winter, and then you'll have to replant them. Here is another beautiful lantana here. Can I tell you that I probably have a slight obsession of lantanas as well? If I'm going to think of like a flowering plant that I'm growing in my outdoor sections, I would say lantanas would be the definite one. They have really grown on to me. I didn't really ever pay attention to them until I started to do my research and think about what flowering plants can grow in Texas hot weather that can tolerate that hot weather. And lantanas, after doing research and just even seeing their growth, they are very vigorous growers. And that's another thing that also I like about certain plants. If they are a fast growing plant, I just love it. I mean, I think for many plant foldies or people who love plants, I think the reason why we also grow plants is because we like to see new leaves unfurl, new growth, and just really document and actually just follow the journey of a plant as it develops and grows. So that's another thing I like about the lantana. It's just a very vigorous grower. Here we've got some caladium plants. Again, caladium plants I have been told can grow indoors, and it's exciting that some people have reached out to me via Instagram and told me they've been able to grow caladiums indoors. I may end up growing some caladiums as well. There are some specific caladiums I want to grow, and those are the Thai hybrids. Like there's I love pink plants, so if you haven't seen my Instagram reels, you already know that I'm obsessed with pink plants as well. But the different colors that they have of caladiums is really nice. But there is a particular caladium called the Caladium Pink Symphony, which is a Thai type caladium that's just really awesome. And you can see right here, that Coleus plants cannot escape me whenever I go big box or plant shopping. So this is one that I really recently bought, or not recently bought, I bought a while back. And when I say that it is a full-blown bush, it is a full-blown bush. It has grown for me. It is some type of Coleus, but just more so green. I really like that as well. So Coleus plants come in different shapes, sizes, and they have a particular variety called the Coleus, where these are the more larger form varieties. I have yet to really find a Coleus that can take full sun, but they are gorgeous as well. Mine is about 2.5 to 3 feet tall, and I've only been growing it for about a month. So that's when you can tell that it is a really fast growing plant. And the thing about Coleus plants again is if you trim them back, when you trim a stem, 2 more shoots will pop out. And then when you trim those 2 more shoots will pop out. So it'll just continue to get really bushy. And I don't really like to waste Coleus cutting. So whenever I trim it back, every single piece of those plants, as long as there's a viable stem, I will stick it in soil. And I have pretty much had a 99% propagation rate from Coleus plants. Like you really can't mess it up unless you just I don't know. At this point, it would just be not meant to be if it's just not going to propagate. And then for my plant foldies, specifically Kathy, who is always on the live premiere chats. I really appreciate you, Kathy from Canada. Here are some of these succulent plants. I know you guys requested me to show you guys some more succulent plants. I am not really versed with succulent plants, so that's the thing. I can show you guys these plants and maybe give you guys some of my insights. Like this is an Echeveria right over here. Beautiful rosette shape with the succulent plants. I think that's to draw with succulent plants is that they are just very beautiful in the shape. This one is for $9.96. The only succulent plants I'm growing right now are Crassula, which are jade plants. I have a jade bonsai that I really need to do an update for, as well as aeoniums. So aeoniums are my favorite succulents. And the reason why I was exposed to aeoniums is because when I took a trip out to Carmel by the Sea in California, I've actually gone 3 times. They have them growing in landscapes. I'm actually kind of jealous about the California weather just because they can grow a lot of these plants that would normally be an annual in Texas, but can actually be a plant that can go past being an annual and actually either being a perennial or an evergreen. And then over here, we've got another calanchoe. And notice how blooming calanchoes, like that floral calanchoes, are in the succulent section because it's a succulent. And then here is another Crusala that I want to get and grow. This is a Crusala obliqua tricolor. And notice how it's got some subtle pink. Now, if you sun stress this or just literally flood it with full sun for 8 hours, it will give you some beautiful pink lining variegation. And that's the same thing with some of the other plants like Hoyas or just sun stressing plants in general. That's a really cool concept that I just recently learned not too long ago. And then over here, we've got another compact type of jade plant or crassula. And then for the plant foldy that corrected my pronunciation, yes, I'm working on it. I was calling it crusala, but it's crassula. So yeah, and that's the thing. I am always open for feedback. I know that some of my plant pronunciations could use some help. Some of them are a little bit more difficult, so sometimes I rely on the subtitles, but for today, I'm not really going to have subtitles. I just really wanted to just talk through some of these plants, because a lot of these plants that I have actually shown y'all from big box stores are plants that I have featured many times in my videos. Like this one right here is a beautiful Pearly von Berg. Echeveria, look at how beautiful that purple is and that pink, and I swear anything that is pink with the plants is awesome. And it actually makes me think about that local plant shop that I featured the other day, Peter's Planters, where they had some beautiful pink planters. Like, I cannot get over it. It is amazing. It is so exciting to see that, and it's just another plant that, you know, plant color and plant that I just really have that aesthetic for. And look at how cool this cactus is right over here. This one is by Element Plants. So Element Plants, Oasis Plants, actually sources out a lot of these succulents to big box stores. And there is a whole world of people who really just love succulents. This one right here, for instance, is another crassula or jade plant. This is the obliqua tricolor, and you notice how they have some of those pink variegation on it. Jade plants remind me of my grandmother, and it's really interesting because a lot of us end up getting into plants because our grandmother grew plants. For some reason, that generation is just very fortunate because they appreciate the simplicity of nature. And I really think a lot of times whenever we have like social media, we're so drawn into like what we see on social media, but we're not always necessarily in the moment. I will say AI can't really produce like plants that we can physically grow. So I'm just glad that we still have plants to really lean into. You know, this year I'll be turning 42, super excited about turning 42, and I've just seen how things have really changed. But the one thing that hasn't changed is for those that have really truly loved plants over decades. I commend you. I salute you. I want to be like you in the sense that you really are just growing plants because of the love for plants. You know, during the pandemic, there were a lot of people that are collecting plants just because of the monetary value. And, that's kind of sad because when we start to put pricing on specific, items like such as plants, then it becomes more of a monetary status versus just growing it because it's just beautiful or it brings us joy. And that's the reason why a lot of plants have shot up in prices, especially during the pandemic. I am glad that some plant pricing has started to really taper back and it's become more affordable. But let me get off of that rant. And that's the thing about my plant shopping videos. For those that are new, plant foliage, you already know I will give you my insights about what I think about plants or just my life in general. I like to utilize my plant shopping videos as almost like a daily blog for you guys to get to know me. I feel like it's really exciting that you guys always invest your time at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to chat with me, chat with each other. And don't worry, I will be working on getting a Facebook page for our Grow Folds Plant Foldy community soon. Whenever I do things or actually get myself into a project, I want to make sure that I have all the resources and have done my research to do it right. And that's the thing, whenever I committed to actually doing plant shopping videos, I wanted to be consistent. And I know that it's almost an undertaking to do 1 hour plant shopping videos, but now with like YouTube and even TikTok and Instagram, a lot of the content out there is short form, and I appreciate short form, but I come from a generation where you know, we like to see longer form content, you know, that attention span of just really taking in the moment, taking your time, not being in a rush. That's the kind of content I like to provide, and that's the content I will continue to provide as best as I can. Sometimes it's a little bit challenging, you know, it takes about 5 hours to really produce a video from film to edit to upload to premiering. So you'll have to forgive me if I can't get a video up 1 or 2 days in a row, but I am going to try my best. But through all of that rambling that I've just done about plants, beautiful succulents, I hope you guys like that. And then you can see here, Costa Farms tends to send like a shipper full of like exotic angel starter planters. So oftentimes you'll see these typical plants right here. This one right here is an Epipremnum aureum golden pothos, for instance. This one is for $5.48, I believe. This is actually a pretty big size golden pothos. It's not as variegated, it's more green, so I would consider this more of like a jade pothos. It does like bright indirect light but can tolerate lower light conditions. Here is a beautiful Fittonia. I am surprised I don't have Fittonias. This is a pink angel Fittonia. I literally see a Fittonia every single day, and the fact that it's a pink plant that I have not picked up yet is surprising. But I know why I haven't gotten a Fittonia, and that is because Fittonias like to be on the wetter side. So you need to make sure that their soil stays moist. They prefer higher humidity. And then this is a purple passion plant. So I actually bought a purple passion plant. It's still doing very well for me. I underwatered it a little bit, but it survived my underwatering negligence, and I'm such a bad plant parent for that. But one of my plant foldies messaged me and let me know that I shouldn't have to buy one because they actually can take full sun. I did not know that, and produces flowers that you can collect seeds from. So I am definitely going to do that. And then over here is a red and Fittonia. Another beautiful Fittonia, and what I like about Fittonias is that they have that beautiful red veining. Sometimes I just really appreciate the plant for like one particular characteristic, whether it's the color, the texture, like this Polyamolus right here, or the Moon Valley Friendship plant. The actual term is the Polyamolus, but I like that texture, for instance. It's really interesting, or just a particular color, a particular stem. So plant foldies, I'm asking if you guys have specific things that you enjoy about a specific plant. Like, what characteristics do you like about plants? I really would love for you guys to leave that in the comment section. It's really important for me to really interact with y'all, and that's one way you can support me as well, is by leaving comments after a live premiere, or if you didn't make the premiere and you're just watching this video till the very end, please leave comments, or you can even leave comments live time where you can do timestamps. The more comments, the happier I'm going to be, the more interactions I can do, and it's just a fun time for me. Right over here is a Dieffenbachia Amy. What an interesting looking Dieffenbachia. It's almost white, highly variegated. It is a plant that I would buy, but I already know with Dieffenbachia, they're just a little bit more of a challenging plant, and it's a plant that I just don't necessarily have the care tips for, or at least the time to invest in its care. Here is a Syngonium Maria. Love Syngonium. Syngoniums will always be my #1 plant, even though I may not be as into them as I am with like aglaonemas. Truthfully, the #1 plant I have is not really even considered an indoor tropical plant, and that is a Coleus plant. But there are just certain plants that will cycle their way. I will say the Syngonium is always going to be my classic #1. And over here we've got a Pia tree plant, or a Fatsia. So this is actually a cross between a Hydra helix and a Japanese Aurelia, or a Fatsia japonica. And that is the actual hybrid. So it's really cool that they actually have a hybrid of it. They have a variegated form as well, and that's super cool that when it grows up, so it's more of like a tree form. And then Dracaena marginata. So this one actually is a tricolor. It's called bicolor, but I really like that as well. Beautiful plant. It's a low light tolerant plant. It's an easy to care for plant. It's a plant that is underrated. It is a plant that everybody needs to add in their collection. And then they have right over here some parlor palms. I like looking at palms at a big box store, but I don't like to add them in my home because they do require a lot of light, unless you have those so there's some varieties that can tolerate lower light conditions, but parlor palm is one that needs bright light. Now we're going to be walking into the indoor section of this Walmart. So this Walmart at the very beginning of the season actually had a bunch of plants that were not taken care of very well, and then they ended up getting a bunch of pallets and actually had some beautiful full plants. I remember finding some beautiful philodendron golden crocodile. I found some philodendron tortums here, and now I am finding a beautiful spider plant Bonnie. Look at this. This is so cute. I almost want to buy it. I don't know, Plant Foley, should I buy this spider plant? I love the crinkly curls of this particular spider plant, and the babies would also look crinkly as well. This one is for $19.84 by Costa Farm. So I love hanging baskets. I just don't have as many in my home. I wish I actually had, if I had to go pick, you know, my home that I have, I wish I just had higher ceilings. That would just really make the space a little bit bigger, because my home, especially my living room, is a full jungle, and I've talked about doing a plant shopping, or not a plant shop, a house plant tour. I have yet to do that. I'm still a little bit shy about showing my home to y'all, but it is going to be there at some point. I think I'll do an outdoor Coleus tour first before I do that. But you can see here another beautiful hanging basket of a Fittonia. Love pink plants for the win. And you know, going to Walmart, I will say you end up saving some money when it comes to buying indoor plants or just outdoor plants. They are usually cost effective. It is a plant that you know, all of these plants right here are a pretty good size plant. And for the most part, if you ever go to a Walmart, you really want to catch them when they've actually just stocked up the plants. That is when the plants are most healthy. So a lot of the plants here, I've already visited this Walmart a couple days back, and it's pretty much the same plants. And I'm noticing that some of the plants unfortunately are declining in their health. I don't blame the actual store. You know, whenever you think about a big box store, your expectations have to be managed, because it is not a full-blown plant shop. So they don't have staff that are like fully versed in plant care, and you know, it's not always the top priority. Over here is another Polea mollis plant. Love that as well. This is a plant that does require a little bit more humidity. Polea plants in general, you want to make sure that you are keeping the watering, like keeping their soil moist. So they need to be a little bit more watered frequently. You never really want them to dry out. And then this is another plant right here that it's a love or hate. That is a Croton plant. I believe this is the Luna Croton. So they've got different types of names for these crotons, but for the most part, crotons care tips is they require a lot of light. So I'm actually growing my Croton in full sun outside, and it's doing very well. And then we also have this right here. This is a Tradescantia burgundy. I like this Tradescantia, but the only problem I would say with Tradescantia is if you do not trim them back, they will get leggy very quickly. On the flip side, where the positive is that you can propagate those cuttings very easily. And then this is another Croton plant. I actually like the Bush on Fire Croton plant. There is something about the colors, and sometimes you'll see it where they've got yellow on the tips, red, and an orange and black. I love the black dark foliage, so this gives it more of like almost like a gothic vibe about it. And I did see an Instagram account where it was just gothic plants or gothic garden, where everything was either purple, black, or some type of chocolate color, and I really like the look of that as well. And then you can see right here another beautiful plant. This is just a black rabbit's foot fern. Honestly, I might end up just getting a black rabbit's foot fern. People have said that it's actually an easy to care for fern. I'm just worried that I'm not going to water it and it's just going to die. And then over here, Syngonium, Berry Illusion. Syngonium, again, it's another beautiful plant. I will say those Syngoniums are not tolerant to being underwatered, so you want to make sure that you stay on top of the watering. I have quickly learned that just because I have neglected some of my beautiful Syngoniums, and they have kind of like reduced in their health. I am nursing them back. I am such a bad plant parent when it comes to that. And then here is a Polea Dark Galaxy. Beautiful plant again. And then all of these exotic angel starter plants are for $4.97. And I have found myself tempted to just buy so many varieties of them, like maybe just doing a full haul. But again, it comes back to, do I have the time to take care of the plants? Some of the plants I've already included have just really taken a toll because I haven't stayed on top of the plants. I think it's just more about prioritizing and then just not getting lazy. I'm the type of person where whenever I see a plant starting to decline in health, or several plants have been infested with a pest, I get really discouraged and I give up, and then it just gets worse. So I just really have to like get up, do what I need to do to make sure to take care of my plants, stay on top of the pest control, stay on top of the watering, and I should be good to go. But as you can see right here, beautiful exotic angel plants. The Prosper Walmart, I'll give it to them. They have a small section, but they still stay full. I'm hoping that they will get a restock soon. And you can see here another Croton plant. What I will say about Croton plants is they're really, it's kind of like the Hydra helix or the English ivy, where they're marketed for a specific place where it's like they're indoor plants, but they're really not. So certain plants really need to be outside in order for them to really grow. And when I was talking to somebody that worked at a nursery, they said that whenever you bring a plant, and the reason why they're more susceptible is because their health is a little bit more compromised. They're not as healthy, which means that the pests are just more willing to attack the plant. And you can see here, purple waffle plant, beautiful plant as well. Mine is actually doing fairly decent, considering I have like let it go bone dry, and then it was almost dying, and then I watered it, and then it came back. And then over here, Rex Begonias, beautiful Rex Begonias. I love Rex Begonias because of the metallic shine on them. And I've noticed that some Rex Begonias can really size up in size. And then you can see over here, this is another Rex Begonia. Cool looking one. I love the gray foliage, and just the shape of the leaves are super cool. Now with Rex Begonias, you want to make sure that you are not getting the leaves wet and the stems wet. It's kind of similar to African violets, where you want to actually bottom water your Rex Begonias. Now the cool thing about Rex Begonias is you can propagate them using their leaf, and that's something that I haven't tried. I've seen some YouTubers actually demonstrate it, and that's really cool. This is a plant that I want to love me back. I love this plant. And you'll notice that every single plant shopping video, I will always show you a snow white waffle plant, because look at how beautiful the leaves are. It has all the variegation I want. I love the pink undertones, the purple undertones, the cream, the white variegation, and even that subtle pink veining on the leaves. It's super cool. So bromeliads, some people are not into bromeliads. I haven't really been into bromeliads, although these are only for $14.97. They can give you a lot of color. I would say bromeliads and chrysanthemums are plants that not a lot of people really take interest in, but they have some cool coloration. I got one bromeliad on sale for $2.47 at Kroger, and that's the thing. You've got to do your plant shopping and really compare your plant pricing. So if you are a local plant foldie or somebody that lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I highly suggest at least subscribing to my channel with notifications. I stay consistent with just shopping at many big box stores and local plant nurseries, and I can at least give you the plant pricing as well as what new plants are being flooded into the Dallas-Fort Worth market. Love that Begonia Immaculata, by the way. And then over here, we've got a ZZ plant, just a green ZZ plant. I love ZZ plants. They are a plant that I used to not really be interested in until I started seeing how easy their care is. I have 3 ZZ plants. I have the Raven ZZ plant, I've got the Chameleon ZZ plant, and then I've just got a regular ZZ plant. All of them are growing very well for me. And then over here is an Epipremnum Global Green Pothos. Love the Global Green Pothos right here. It is another pothos that is one of my favorites. Honestly, pothos are very difficult to pick just one favorite. If I had to pick a favorite, it would really be a toss-up of like a highly variegated Manjula potho, an Enjoy potho, or a Global Green. It's really a tough pick. But then again, I also like a Snow Queen pothos or the Marble Queen. Either way, pothos in general, or Epipremnum aureum, you must have that in your plant collection. You must buy at Plant Foldies because it is an easy plant. I will do a demonstration on how to take cuttings from a pothos plant and then show you just the growth updates. I had a plant, like a pothos plant, that actually got leggy, and I ended up like propagating a bunch of cuttings, and now it's super full. This is another Rex Begonia I think is really cool. Look at that green. When I saw that at another local plant nursery where it was super full, and I was really tempted to buy that. So I might end up getting some begonia plants. It's one of those things again where, you know, you have so many interests, but you have to have like the time for it. For me, it's not about the space. I actually have enough space for my plant shopping to accommodate the plants. It's just really the time to invest in them, because for every plant you get, every plant has a different watering schedule, different care needs, different pest control needs. And then over here, we got another bush on fire Croton. I might actually buy a bush on fire Croton though, as a matter of fact, just because I like that dark foliage. It's super interesting. I love it a lot. And here is another Fittonia right here. I love this Fittonia. This is just like a white stripes Fittonia. And all of the plants I picked up so far are for $4.97. Plant foldies, let me know what exotic angel Costa farm plants you've actually bought. What do you have on your wish list? What plants do you like? Again, I'm really just trying to garner a little bit more engagement in the comments section. I know that most of us will chat during the live premiere chats, but even on the comments section, I would really love some more comments as well. If you want to support me, that is one way to support me, as well as if you have made it this far into the video and have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. When somebody hits the like button, which is a simple task to do on YouTube, it pushes, YouTube will push the plant foldy community videos to more plant lovers like yourself and me. And who doesn't want to have more friends joining our live premiere chats? This Fatsia plant, I think that's how you pronounce it, is a beautiful plant. Look at that. They look almost like African violets, I think they're care, but I didn't realize that they had such beautiful pink blooms. So that is another plant I will definitely add to my collection once I get my stuff together, in terms of just getting, you know, basically watering my plants. Like, I think I should just take an entire day where I'm not filming plants or potting up plants or propagating plants, and literally just watering my plants, spraying them with the plant foldy mist spray that I make to kill like pests, and hopefully I can get that to recover. Here is a large foliage type of a Fittonia plant. This is Stripes Forever hanging basket. Love this because typically Fittonias do not get this large. So this is what you would consider a giant one. Love that a lot. Love the foliage. It's another plant that I would love to have. I have a pink wave Fittonia, I think, a hanging basket that I bought that's growing outdoors, just because it's easier for me to water it. Like, literally I'll take my hose and hose down the plants and they are good to go. I even have a lot of my tropical plants growing, like my Philodendron Florida Beauty that I really neglected and got leggy. It's now pushing out new growth. I'm actually going to chop it up and propagate it, and even do wet stick propagation. And for those that don't know what wet stick propagation is, it's basically taking cuttings where there's not an actual leaf on it. It may take a little bit longer to grow, but you can still propagate. And then here is a Ficus lyrata or fiddle fig leaf tree for $14.97 by Costa Farms. This is Plants with Benefits, which is basically the name brand of Walmart, but these are Costa Farms plants. And wow! Didn't expect this, but this is an Epipremnum aureum Marble Queen Pothos. Oh my goodness. This is actually the most full Marble Queen Pothos hanging basket I have seen in a long time. And check out the variegation plant foldies. Like, you cannot beat this. Should I buy this plant? Like, I didn't even expect to find something like this, but should I buy this plant? Please leave that in the comments. If, you know, at that moment I should have bought this plant, or should buy this plant, or will buy this plant. This is a beautiful Epipremnum Marble Queen Pothos. Love this. Look at that variegation. And also it's pretty, you know, even. I'm going to cut back. If I were to buy this, I will cut back more of the green stems or whatever, so I can promote more of the variegation. Now with Marble Queen Pothos, it is a plant that will revert, unfortunately, if you don't give it enough light. I mean, it will still have some variegation, but it won't maintain that. That is a beautiful Marble Queen Pothos. It's definitely not a Snow Queen Pothos. Snow Queen would definitely be more white in its variegation. This has more cream in its variegation, but needless to say, what a beautiful plant. And it is another plant that if you grow that on a totem, you will get some large size leaves. Over here we have some gorgeous Philodendron Pink Princess. Love the Philodendron Pink Princess. Absolutely stunning plant. This one is for $24.47 by Growers Bench. I was able to find a Walmart though that clearanced them out for $5. I've actually seen that particular Walmart, which is off of Custer Road in North McKinney, Texas. If you're interested in a local that will clearance them out. So I am a little bit more just cautious about whether I'm going to buy a Philodendron Pink Princess at this point for a full price, because I was able to get some on clearance for $5. And for my plant foldies, if you guys do have Instagram, please make sure you are following me. I will be doing some more plant giveaways. The Monstera Thai Constellation plant giveaway, I will announce the winner this Saturday. May 18th at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time via Instagram story. So if you haven't already and you have an Instagram and want a chance to win, just make sure you follow the reel that has a plant. Follow my Instagram first and then actually like the reel that has the plant giveaway. Tag a minimum of 3 friends. Any additional tags after the 3 friends to that reel will be another entry to the drawing. And then over here, this is another beautiful spider bonnie plant. So it's really cool that one of my plant folies asked to see some more spider plants, and I am definitely showing you guys some more. This is such a cool looking plant. Look at how it's got a lot of babies already ready to go. Love that. And you know, this is a plant that if you bought it, you can propagate many of its babies and have more free plants to get. And I don't know if I should buy it, but that Marble Queen Pothos has me just thinking about how you can go to a plant shop and you'll be surprised about some of the plant finds. Like you might just see these regular plants that you see often, and then that's that one time where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I went to, you know, this particular store because they had these in available. That's really why I've lucked out with some of the plants that I've found, because some plants like that I found I just didn't expect. I remember finding a Monstera Siltipicana in a hanging basket at Lowe's, and I didn't really expect to find that, but when I did, I was over the moon. Here's another Dracaena right here, lemon lime. It's about to fall out of its pot. I hope somebody will buy it. And then here is another Dracaena Janet Craig compacta. This is for $9.97. Another underrated plant, another plant that I would say please buy because it is an easy to care for plant. It is a plant that you will not kill. It's a plant that you will not kill definitely if you don't water it, because it can tolerate not being watered as often. And then you can see that this Walmart right here just has a bunch of plants mixed up. Again, certain Walmarts, they'll have their plants merchandised a little bit better, like the Rockwall Texas Walmart definitely had it on point, like everything was organized and neat. And sometimes I feel like if these plants were just organized a little bit better, more people would be more inspired to pick up plants and buy them. But you know, I can't really be super picky in the fact that I'm just glad that they actually have plants for sale. And then over here we've got some more of these creeping fig plants, these hanging baskets, and this one looks to have a lot of new growth. That's the thing about plant shopping. Whenever you are going to a plant shop or shopping for plants, be sure to not only inspect for pests, so check the soil, check the undersides of the leaves, the top of the leaves, if there's any dead growth, but more importantly, if you find a plant that has roots popping out of the drainage hole, that's a good sign. And also new growth, like new leaves about to unfurl, that's also a good sign, because then the plant has been established in its growing condition in that pot, and it's a pretty healthy looking plant. Aglaonema red siam, you already know I have to show you an Aglaonema red siam. This isn't going to be a Grow Folds video unless I show you an Aglaonema red siam, if I don't talk about my obsession with Coleus plants, and if I don't say Hydra helix. Those are the 3 elements of a Grow Folds you know, video. So I just have to like entertain myself with that. So for my original plant foldies that have continued to follow my journey, I appreciate you so much for just tuning in. To those that are new to my channel, welcome to the plant foldy community. I hope that you will continue to go visit my YouTube channel, as I will do plant shopping videos daily, hopefully 1-hour plant shopping videos. But guys, take a look at this plant foldies. Look at how beautiful this Marble Queen Pothos is. And you know what? I decided that I definitely need to take this home, buy this, and actually put this in my collection of pothos plants. I just think that it needed to go home. It's too beautiful of a hanging basket to leave at a big box store. Anyways, plant foldies, I hope you enjoyed this plant shopping video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.